ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are back. I am back. Jon Does. Episode 110. Live right now on the Wild Dinosaur YouTube channel. What's going on? Hope you're all doing good. Hope y'all had a good weekend and good week last week, because I didn't do a show on Friday. I got sick. I'm still a little phlegmy, but we're here. We're living. We're doing it large. Jon Does, episode 110. That's what's up. I don't know why I still get this error message on YouTube about my audio channels. I only have one audio channel going in. I changed it. I fixed it. I fixed it a long time ago, and I still get this error. Whatever. Who cares? YouTube. You think anybody cares, YouTube? That's what I thought. Boo. Stop giving me error messages. You know it's wrong. That's right. Anyways, hey, before we get started with everything, what do I like to tell you guys? I like to tell you guys about my website, wilddinosaur.com, right up here at the top. It's the best place to support this channel. If you're into any of the stuff that I'm doing, and I've been doing a lot of stuff lately, if you've been following the channel or any of my other social stuff, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I got these little conspiracy videos that are... These are so much fun to make, and just been doing the marketing there on all that goodness. Sorry, I should have had this prepared a little better, but the website has some cool stuff up there. I did since New Pants 2 is out now, the homepage has been changed up a little bit to give you a link to the right there on the homepage. So the link to the Ginkgo Momoa video. It's like a minute and like 40 seconds or something like that. And then there's some updates to the store. You can purchase the New Pants 2 album cover on t-shirts and posters. We have posters. I don't have any of those right now. I'm probably gonna get a couple in a couple of weeks, and I might be doing a new commercial for the store pretty soon. I need to, actually. I had a really good one that I liked. I mean, I like all my commercials, but you guys have seen this 40-second one for like 6 months now. And you know what I hate is going to the movies and seeing like that one M&M commercial that's been there for like 25 years. You know what I'm talking about? They do this all the time. You know, it's like the one where it's like a fake movie trailer, but it's the M&Ms. Like that's probably like 20 years old at this point, that trailer. And I want to give you guys you know, some better... If you have to look at commercials on my show, I want you to look at cool stuff. My job was watching commercials for like 3 years. So I want to make good commercials. If you guys have to watch them, because I have to sell stuff like this tote bag, right here. This is a cool tote bag. You can get this tote bag on my website. This is called Lakeside. That's the name of this image. But these tote bags are super durable. I have like 3 of them. Pat stole one from me. So if you see Pat, steal it back from him and send it to me, and I'll send you some stickers. That involves you having to deal with Pat, though, you know. And I know not everybody wants to do that. I'm just kidding. I'm just ribbing Pat. I'm a ribbon. But yeah, the website is there's some new stuff going on there. Go check it out, please. There's again, there's new designs, a couple of new designs. There's a poster which we don't have for some of the other products. We have removed a couple of things. There was some We were getting messages on specific products and sizes and colors and stuff that weren't in stock or weren't getting restocked or not available or anything anymore. So we've cleaned that up a little bit. So hopefully everything up there right now is available if you are looking to purchase. Yeah, throughout the year I'm going to try to do more. I actually have made like 3. I'm not totally happy with the end results quite yet. I'm getting there, but I have like 3 cool designs that I'm kind of excited for. 2 of them are more graphic design like, and the other one is more like Photoshop collage-y stuff. So you'll see some of that stuff later on in the year. I always put when the images are done, I always put them up on my Instagram. So that's another good thing is go to my Instagram. You get to see the art there first, usually, unless it's video content that comes here, that comes to the website. So, yeah. Check out wilddinosaur.com. I think there's a mailing list there. Oh, I did update the news section. There's a new blog entry post there. Go ahead and check that out. I give a little backstory on the new pants record, and a little updates with some other stuff. I think there's links to those shirts and the posters there too. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check that out, because yeah, I think the website looks cool. I like it. I like having this website. It's the best the best version of a social media platform that I've made for myself, minus being able to live stream there. Although I don't know, we'll see. Well, as the website grows, maybe there's going to be like a film section or something like that, or links on the website for when we're live or something like that. We'll see if we can do something like that. But yeah, that's the website ongoing process, and expect more stuff this year. I'm excited. There's a lot of art that I'm working on, not just the couple of designs that I have. Stepping into, well, I'll be honest, I'm stepping into some music. My pedal board, it's a spicy meatball, as Mario would say. So yeah, my head's starting to get wrapped around music ideas and concepts and stuff like that. So there's going to be Wild Dinosaur will definitely be putting out something probably in the later end of this year, hopefully accompanied with a music video. We'll see. What else do I have? A bunch of video projects, bunch of music projects. Oh yeah, I'm I'm gonna do some photography here shortly. I keep seeing a job posting every once in a while for a place near me that does they're like a Hot Toys retailer or something like that. They do a lot of figures and figurines and stuff like that. And the job that I see constantly, or not constantly, but every 4 or 5 months, I would say, is I see a position for I guess, I don't know if they call it the cinematographer or if it's just like a toy photographer. But I'm gonna be doing some stuff. I have a bunch of these like Star Wars Black Series. I have a bunch on my wall, and then I have like 4 that I've opened. All the other ones are remaining closed. But I have a bunch of these stormtroopers and like this guy. He was I forget his name, but he was one of the I think he's with the New Republic, X-Wing. I think he's in the sequel trilogy. I think that's where he's from. But yeah, I'm gonna do some cool stuff. Hopefully I can make it look like a war zone with these guys blowing each other up. There's a couple other ones over here, and then I'm gonna try to throw this in the background somewhere to give it a little bit of like there's a full battle going on. Hang that up somewhere, get some good angles, So That's a photo project I've been thinking about for about a week or so. I might shoot it tomorrow. I'm not quite sure yet. There's a couple ideas that I have. I'm not sure how I want to set that up, but I guess it's just do it, right? Anyways, man, I am really hungry. Yeah, pizza sounds delicious. I'd love some pizza. What else do I have? There's going to be a show Friday. I don't know if Pat will be here Friday. I do want to give you guys some updates on the Starburst Summer Splash adventure. I did end up getting that response from Mars Wrigley Company. And then I was asked to do a survey, and I did a survey. And I want to fill you guys in on all that stuff, but it doesn't feel right without at least Pat being here. And I also have I was talking to an old friend of mine from college, and she has some things to say about Skittles. And this is the platform to hear her out. If we're gonna go through this whole thing on bringing Starburst Summer Splash back, I think it's only fair that Kelly get her time to vent and just ultimately have a really good discussion about Starburst and Skittles, potentially two of the greatest candy brands ever. Potentially. We'll see. You know. The jury's still out on that one. They're still tallying the votes for Fun Dip. You know, just living it up, counting numbers of candy. That's the job that I want. I want the federal government job of counting what kind of candies people like the most. But anyways, we'll have that conversation soon. I don't know when Kelly will be available to call in. She said she had some work to do this week. She's going to be in a place that she didn't want to be. So, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're surviving, and I hope you got your passport and your shots. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, I was gonna do an episode on Friday about I was gonna drag this out a bit, but I think we'll fit this into the first segment here. Yeah, I think I can do this in like 10-15 minutes. So last week I watched a few movies, and they were older movies. They were movies from when I was a kid. And the first of those two movies that I watched was this gem. It's called A Kid in King Arthur's Court. And the child star of that is Thomas Ian Nicholas, who you might know from what was it's not Angels in the Outfield. That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Which one was that? It was the why am I forgetting the name of it? Rookie of the Year. That's the one. Henry Rowan Gardner. Oh man, what a great movie. I haven't rewatched it, but I was watching this movie, and it's cheesy. It's about this like kid who is playing baseball. He's literally in the middle of a game, and a random earthquake happens, and he falls into this hole, and he ends up traveling back in time. I guess it would be time. I don't know if it was an alternate universe or whatever, but he travels back to the land and time of King Arthur, and there's a whole story going on. Arthur's old, and he's got this guy that's whispering in his ear, and he's just not he's the villain of the movie, of course. What is his name? It was Lord Belasco, Art Malik, who I've seen this guy in a bunch of stuff. I think he was in not The Last Action Hero. What's the other? Yeah, maybe it was. He was in some like 90s action movies and stuff like that. But there was something I found very interesting about this movie. So when what's his name? Calvin Fuller, our teen protagonist, when he makes it to King Arthur's court, King Arthur is an old man. He's, in his 60s, 70s at this point, and seemingly the lore that we know about King Arthur is not what's going on. He just seems like a little bit of a schlubby king. Maybe he was this mythical character at one point, but now he's just an old king. Got this guy whispering in his ear. He's like, "Hey, you should do some weird stuff." And he's like, "Oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea." But this king has 2 daughters. There's the younger daughter, who becomes the pseudo love interest for our main character, which is always weird because, these are kids' movies. He's like 13 or 14 or something like that. Not to say you can't have a love interest, but I don't know. We don't always, when it's a kids' movie, we don't always need to do that. You know what I mean? And there's an older daughter in this movie. The older daughter is in love with a knight. And the oldest daughter and the knight are played by 2 very well-known actors these days. 2 very well-known actors that are in large franchises. And I was like, whoa, no way. Because I saw both of their names in the credits, and I was like, what? What's going on here? So the older princess is played by Titanic alumni Kate Winslet. This definitely was not her first role, but it was definitely an earlier role for her. And the knight that she's in love with, that they have this like kind of secret affair thing going on that really comes together there for them later on. Spoiler alert for a movie that's, what year did this come out? 95? Yeah, 95. This is almost 30 years old. Spoiler alert. I don't intend to like going plot point by plot point, but I just wanted to talk about this because it's so weird. And also, I don't know if you can see this on that poster right there. It's small for me. I don't know how you guys are watching this, but Homeboy is wearing rollerblades. And he actually does rollerblade through the castle at one point in this movie. It is radical, dude. It is cowabunga. Oh, man. There's a lot of stuff I could talk about because I've been gone. Why is the light auto adjusting? That was weird. I got super dark there for a sec. There's lights on me. Camera, pay attention. Anywho, a kid in King Arthur's court. The other actor in this, I'm sure you're, if you haven't figured it out by now, you're sitting on the edge of your seat saying like, "John, you've been teasing this for 2.5 minutes now. What the hell? Who is this other actor?" Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you who this actor is. I'll tell you who this knight, I guess he's a knight, soldier, this person who is a love interest to Kate Winslet. That actor, it's James Bond himself, Mr. Daniel Craig. I was thrown way off. I was like, whoa, both of these people. Daniel Craig's super cheesy in it. It's great. It's great. And it's like, It's like if Daniel Craig was in Robin Hood Men in Tights. His like get up looks kind of like the Merry Men thing, to like garb to me. It was funny. I had a good time. I had a good time watching it. It's not a great movie, but there is one other movie I wanted to talk about this, because this one's a little bit weirder for me. This movie is something that I don't think it could get made these days, for maybe two reasons. I don't know that many kids are going to camps these days that aren't like forced camps for like attitude adjustments or whatever. I just don't know. I don't have kids myself. But I went to summer camps. I went to like church summer camps. And then I grew up watching movies like Heavyweights, which I did watch the other night. It's a good movie. I don't know. I don't know if I have a lot to say about Heavyweights, but this other movie, I didn't remember this movie until I saw it on Disney Plus, which is where I've been watching these 90s movies. And there's probably a couple more that I'm going to get to here pretty soon. But the movie that I wanted to talk about today, the other movie that I watched within the idea of these like weird cheesy 90s kids movies, was Camp Nowhere, which I remember seeing this movie. I don't remember if I saw it in theaters, but I do remember watching this movie. I liked this movie as a kid. And the premise of this one is really funny. Let me see. A group of this is just off IMDb real quick. A group of junior high kids don't want to go to summer camps chosen by their parents. They make their own adult-free camp and hire an ex-drama teacher to help. And if you can tell by the poster that I have up there, the ex-drama teacher that they hire is Christopher Lloyd. And he is a total... Oh, man, he is great in this. Because he is a drama teacher, and he does have some like moral moments, but he's also just like a grifter, and he like has like very little shame about it. It's kind of hilarious. Which, I mean, I always enjoy Christopher Lloyd. I don't know many people who don't. So when I was like, yeah, I'll rewatch that. I was excited. I was excited to dive into the Christopher Lloyd of it all. But there's a bunch of kids in this movie, and I started to kind of trip out because there are, there's some people that were child stars that some of us might remember that are maybe still working today, or actually, there's some people you might know that have passed away too. Jonathan Jackson is the main character. This kid Mud, who's the main culprit in this, who's like the super smart kid, but just doesn't want to go to like science camp or whatever. And the person that I was mentioning that has passed away is Peter Scolari, who plays the dad in this. He was in a bunch of stuff. I the first time I remember seeing him was way back in the day. I don't know if it was actually before this or after this. Let me look at his IMDb real quick. Peter Scolari. He died in 2021, I believe it was. But he played the dad. He played the Rick Moranis character on the TV show version of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. When was this? Oh, there was an Encyclopedia Brown show? I don't remember that. I used to read those books. Sorry, I'm just getting locked into this whole thing. Yeah, there it is. Oh, 97? Okay, so it was like 2 years after Camp Nowhere. He did a lot of stuff. He did a bunch of voices. Batman the Animated Series, Gargoyles, Drew Carey Show, Duckman, Pinky and the Brain, Hey Arnold. Yeah, he did this. He had like a huge. He has a huge resume here. Oh, right. He was Commissioner Loeb on Gotham. I remember that. I watched Gotham. I regret some of that. That show was pretty good in some. They did that. The villains, the Batman villains in that show were awesome. They did them pretty well, except for Jada Pinkett Smith. I really did not like that character. She was created, I think, for the show. But anyways, Camp Nowhere. It was, as you can tell, it was just this, like, Lord of the Flies style thing, but it's a kids like comedy, you know. It has a little bit of the feel of like Heavyweights, but obviously it's not like a, you know, camp for heavy kids or anything like that. But let's see. Andrew Keegan, who was like, he was the asshole kid in like everything for a long time in the 90s. Kate Mulgrew, she's in this. If you're any Star Trek fans out there, Burgess Meredith is in it for a minute. And M. Emmett Walsh, man, that guy has been in so much stuff. Where's the full cast list? There we go. But there's a couple of kids in this because it starts off with like a group of like four kids that like plan this whole thing, and then slowly more and more and more kids like join this whole thing. So I don't remember how many kids there are total, but there's probably like 20 or 30 kids, something in the cast throughout all of this. One of the kids is Heather DeLoach. And if you're a 90s person, you would recognize her as the B-girl from, oh my gosh, what, I'm forgetting. Crap, why am I forgetting? No Rain. Yeah, she's the B-girl from Blind Melon, No Rain. And then there is a tall girl in the background that I think she has maybe like one line or something like that. She grew up to be the one and only Jessica Alba. She's a background kid in this thing. She grew up to be. She always was, but at this point in her career, she's just a background player. You know what I mean? So all of this stuff's been coming up recently. I had been watching the H3 podcast, and they trolled. Is it Mark Elliott? I think is his name. One of the guys that's affiliated with the Nexium cult thing stuff. I haven't paid too much attention to all of that information, but big member of that was Allison Mack, who was on Smallville, and who's also in this movie. She has a couple of speaking roles. Tom Wilson from Back to the Future fame plays an aloof cop. That's like the role he was born to play, essentially. That and Biff Tannen. There's a ton of people in this movie. The director was in it too. Okay, I didn't see that. But yeah, it's one of those movies where like they make up this camp thing so they can do whatever they want. And I feel like if they did that movie these days, it would end up being like Euphoria, not like this comedic romp where a kid almost gets arrested, you know. But there are also some weird scenes too, where there's like a skinny dipping scene. I think it's in the credits actually. There's like a girl that like goes into the water and like tricks a dude to take his pants off or something like that. And then I don't know. It's weird. It's one of those things where you're like, I don't think that they could make this today. And if they did, it would just end up being like a Euphoria thing where it's like 18 and up should watch this, nobody else, you know. So I don't know. It's a weird a revisit, I'll say. So Camp Nowhere, it's on Disney Plus. If you guys care, you should check them out. I have a couple of things going on. I haven't been like, the only thing I'm consistent on right now is Mandalorian, because it just started, which we'll get into after the break. Bad Batch, which we'll probably talk about too, maybe a little bit. I did finally catch up. This wasn't something I'd been following, but I did finally catch up to all of The Last of Us. There's only one episode left, so I'll catch that this weekend. And Bad Batch is almost over too. But so I haven't been. I've been kind of all over the place with what I'm consuming. And these weird like 90s movies, and then I'm trying to rewatch the DC animated stuff. Like during the whole Snyderverse, people are like, DC is failing, all this stuff, but they also had like at the same time from like 2013 to like 2021, they had all these animated series movies, and a lot of them were interconnected, and they did have a DC universe that wasn't like the Arrowverse or the Snyderverse. And so I've been I've watched pretty much all of them, and I really like most of them, but I'm in this rewatch phase. It's been a while since I've caught them all in order. So I've been doing that little by little. I don't know if I'm going to watch any of that tonight or whatever, but yeah, so I'm kind of all over the place, but I've got these things going on. So one of these nights I'll watch another weird 90s movie, then another night like one or two of these DC animated movies, because they're like, they don't go longer than like an hour and a half. Most of them are like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. But anyways, let's do a commercial break, and when I come back, we'll talk about some Star Wars stuff, because yeah, Mandalorian started back up. Star Wars Celebration is next month. We're less than a month away, actually. I think it's... Oh, wait, no. I think we're about a month away. And they announced some stuff. And then there was a couple of pieces of news that dropped, too. So we'll talk about Star Wars here just right after the break. So I'll see you in about 40 seconds.
I'm Richard. Richard's Pet Wedding Facilities. And I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them, too. This bag from... What's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure it's my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee. All right, we're back. Don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. There's some cool stuff there. I'm telling you guys, I'm doing some work on it, and there's already a new homepage. There's already some new stuff up there, so go check it out, and please support the channel. I'm doing this for you guys. You know what I mean? I'm here for you. All right. Well, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Whatever. So it's happened finally after 2 years. We finally have a new season of The Mandalorian. We're 2 episodes in as of today. Today is Wednesday, March 8th, and the second episode premiered at midnight, and I am a midnight person, so I stay up and watch them. I'm gonna... Why is the lighting so weird on the camera? I keep watching it adjust, and it shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I will take another look at that. I'm gonna have to take that camera down for photography shoots anyways. Sorry. What was I saying? I'm not gonna be doing spoilers for this episode. We'll talk about these 2 episodes kind of as an arc a little bit, and where we might be going, but I will steer clear of spoiling any of the episodes. But there's a lot of there's actually quite a bit of Star Wars stuff to talk about. This season it's a little bit weird. I personally subscribe to the idea that you don't treat your audience like they're stupid. And I don't think they are. Last season ended with Grogu going off with Luke Skywalker. Spoiler alert if you haven't caught up on any of this. But I will again, I will do spoilers up until episode 2 of this series. So we leave him with Luke Skywalker to train, and then we get the Book of Boba Fett. And in the Book of Boba Fett, we get I think it's 2 episodes. Across 2 episodes, we get a Mandalorian storyline where you see the Mandalorian kind of on his own after leaving Grogu, and he ends up going and finding Grogu to give him a gift that he has. He has made some Beskar armor, and he goes and he finds Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy that's going to end up getting burnt down eventually by Kylo Ren. And every time I move, the lighting shifts. I don't think I changed anything in there. What the heck? And so, yeah, Grogu has to make the choice of, like, does he stay with Luke and take Yoda's lightsaber, or does he take the chainmail armor made of Beskar? Does he go with the Mando? And at the finale, Boba Fett, spoiler alert for Boba Fett as well, sorry. You've been warned, and if you're watching The Mandalorian, you should know this stuff. He ends up back with the Mando. So when we start off with this season, Grogu and Mando are just chilling together in their new N1 starfighter. Now there were comments from Jon Favreau last week, I think it was, saying that it has been Grogu apparently trained with Luke for 2 years. So Grogu, they don't give you this at all in the Mandalorian show, but apparently Grogu had trained for about 2 years in between the end of season 2 and Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, Grogu actually got some training, and now he's back. And this season we start off with Din trying to go back, because he took his helmet off and now he's not a Mandalorian according to his religious creed, and he wants back in. He wants back in. That's all he's ever wanted in this life, is to be a Mandalorian. And he has been, until they told him, you took your helmet off. So that wasn't the soundbite I was thinking, but it worked. So he starts off thinking he's going to Mandalore, and a couple of things happen. He ends up going to Navarro, where IG-11's torso remains are there, and he wants to rebuild this droid so he can go test the atmosphere of Mandalore. And he ends up having to deal with Anzellans, which was maybe my favorite part of the episode, because Babu Frick from The Last Jedi, or not The Last Jedi, the Rise of Skywalker, is the best part of that movie. Little drunk Babu Frick is absolutely the best. Voiced by Shirley Henderson, who is Moaning Myrtle from the Harry Potter movies. And she reprised the role for all the Enzellans in this episode, which was great. And then Grogu just grabbing one and hugging it is adorable. It's adorable. And then we get caught up with Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan is chilling in her own castle with her droid. No homies. They're all gone. They all left. She ain't got that darksaber. So they bounced. They're just floating around the galaxy, mercenarying it up. You know, being the Night Owls, I think is what their team was called. I think they were the Night Owls. So yeah, she's sad. She's just in her sad girl phase. She's just sitting on this throne by herself, just stewing. I think she's got like a blanket there, and then this droid to like just stand there. She's just living. She's barely living. Din comes to talk to her, and she's like, "You know what? Go do whatever you want. I don't care about this anymore." And then we get to episode 2. Basically, the episode 2. I do kind of wish. This is definitely a selfish thing, but I do kind of wish that episode 2 came out with episode 1, because I do think they act as a good, so far from what I've seen from the season, these 2 episodes, it does seem like a good introduction to we're back, and here is like episode 2 is seemingly more of what this season's gonna be about. And oh man, I really loved this episode. I really liked this episode. There's been stuff since the Clone Wars. I mean, there's been stuff I'd been wanting to see for a long time, and they touched on some of it in the Clone Wars animated series, and we're starting to get back to some of that stuff. And episode 2, I think, is doing that. It's there's a lot of storylines you can think about when it comes to Star Wars. You know, there's people, I like all Star Wars. It's pizza. There's good pizza. There's not so good pizza, but I'll eat it. But for the longest time, there's been the idea of like, well, Star Wars for some people is like space battles and like the big action stuff. And some people like the mysticism, and then some people like the political aspect. So there's like different pockets. There has always been talk about Mandalorian. I mean, as long as Boba Fett's been around, there's become more and more mythology surrounding him as a character, and I always wanted to know more. The idea of the race of Mandalorians and what they mean in the history of the galaxy is really interesting to me. And they're this like warrior clan that they're really the only I mean, seemingly the only equal match, potentially equal match to like Force users, because they historically like fought, and their weapons were designed to fight Jedi. Flamethrowers and the little like grappling hook things that they shoot out. A lot of that stuff was designed to fight Jedi back in the day. And a show called The Mandalorian is now in season 3 getting into Mandalorian stuff. And I love this. I love this so much. I've always loved the like Jedi mythology, but growing up consuming Star Wars material over the course of Legends and non-Legends stuff, Mandalorians are really interesting to me. And as much as I love Andor, I'm not always Andor, I think, is some of the best written Star Wars in a long time. But I think one of the things for me originally when I was like, Andor, what's that series going to be about? It didn't have... I didn't know much of what it was going to be about. And it's a political thriller in the Star Wars world. And that's not always my jam in general. But I loved Andor. It was one of my favorite shows last year. Yeah, Mando is back. I'm really pumped. Katie Sackhoff kicks ass. Happy International Women's Day, by the way. There's some really awesome characters in Star Wars, female characters in Star Wars now. Ming-Na Wen's, I'm forgetting names off the top of my head. Fennec Shand, sorry. Fennec Shand, another great character. Katie Sackhoff is just she's killing it. I'm a fan of Christian Harloff, and I've been following his channel for a long time. I watched numerous interviews with him and Katie Sackhoff, and it was just really nice to see they did one recently. It came out, I think, the week of the first episode, and I think she's going to be back. They're doing a really cool giveaway for a Mandalorian helmet that she signs, which I may or may not have tried to enter or entered. I don't know. Probably won't get it. We'll see. But anyways, Katie Sackhoff's awesome, and I'm loving Bo-Katan in live action. Really loving the character. This is going to be her season. I mean, there's so many things to theorize about, everybody wants to know who's going to run Mandalore. Is it going to be Din, our Mandalorian? Is it going to be Boba Fett? Is it going to be Bo-Katan? There's a bunch of people in contention for the spot. I mean, if you're fans of any of the animated stuff, there's other characters out there like Sabine, who's part of the Rebels crew, who we will probably see. I'm betting we will see her this season. It would make sense. She is a Mandalorian. So it would make sense to me. And I think that she's going to be a part of the Ahsoka series as well, too. So we got Ghost Crew, Rebels Ghost Crew stuff happening. So I can only imagine what kind of cameos and stuff. I do think a lot of the big cameos this season will probably be like the Rebels crew, maybe another character sprinkled in. And if they do a Luke Skywalker sized cameo, my vote actually is for Yoda over everybody. I kind of think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe Grogu gets a little Yoda cameo, and that would help. That would help people not call him baby Yoda anymore. I know it still happens, but you see Yoda and baby Grogu in the same frame. That'd be so cute, right? We all want that. Well, look, there's a couple minutes left, and like I said, there's some stuff coming up. We'll stop talking about the Mandalorian for now. I'll probably. I don't know if I'll do episode by episode. I'll definitely talk about it at the end of the season. Since I have caught up with The Last of Us, I will probably do a series recap or talk about it as a whole series after maybe next week after this weekend's season finale. So yeah, there'll be more of that, but there's a ton of Star Wars news. Not D23, Star Wars Celebration is happening next month, in London, and they, released some stuff. There's going to be a big Ahsoka, panel. I think we'll probably get the full cast, including the Rebels crew. We'll probably get Ezra, maybe Thrawn, honestly. And a trailer. We're probably going to get a trailer. So we'll probably have a trailer for Ahsoka in about a month. And There's some other stuff going on too. There's a Bad Batch panel. I don't think they said anything about the Acolyte. Forgive me, I didn't note all of this. I didn't put it in my notes. So this is off the top of my head. But there is talk about the movies that will probably be announced, and I'm kind of there was word today officially the Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins Star Wars movie. I almost said Catherine Bigelow. The Patty Jenkins Star Wars movie are officially dead. It seems off the schedule, off the block. The Patty Jenkins one kind of thought it would probably be dead after those after the conversation after Wonder Woman. There's stuff about them I don't know, not playing together well or something. And then the Kevin Feige one makes sense. He's running Marvel. Marvel needs a little bit of a readjustment. And everybody who's going off about Marvel's dead. It's not dead. It's not dead. You guys are insane. They've had like 2 and 3 movies. They're not dead. Like, there's still a multi-billion-dollar like franchise, and they still own Fantastic Four, which they haven't premiered. They still own the X-Men, which they haven't premiered. They still have all these other characters that they haven't premiered. They still have a whole 2 phases ahead of us, and it's really just like slowing down in their pacing and readjusting their storytelling a little bit better, which they've already said they're doing. I look, am I disappointed with some of the recent stuff? Yeah, sure, why not? But are they dead? Absolutely not. So Kevin Feige is going to be retooling that, and then the 2 other movies that have been talked about. These 2 are seemingly going to be the ones announced as the David Lindelof movie, which I kind of expected. That was the one I'd put money on. And then they're still talking about this Taika Waititi movie, which kind of scares me because they have said he's writing, directing, and he might be starring in it as well. And like, I love Taika Waititi. I like when he writes stuff. I like when he writes stuff like Jojo Rabbit. I don't like when he writes something within a already established universe, like Star Wars or Marvel. To recap real quick, he did not write Thor Ragnarok. Somebody else did. He punched up that script, and I think that is the way to work, is you find a writer or writers who give you a really good story that plays well within the storyline or the arc that you want to go play into as Lucasfilm, and then just punch up that script, just work up. That's one of the things Taika Waititi is really good at, is that situational, like, humor, stuff like that. And I do think within these larger franchises like this, he should be doing that more. Look, he might have a really great movie. Apparently, it's supposed to sit in the same time frame as the David Lindelof one, so maybe okay, which I think is going to be sequel era, or after the sequel era, which I'm fine with. I would like to get out of the Skywalker era for the most part. I'm here for Andor and, some of this other stuff's going on, but like, time frame, we can definitely fucking move on from this already. So I am interested about that. The Taika Waititi stuff, I am hesitant on. I did not like Thor, Love and Thunder very much. At first, I enjoyed it. I don't like rewatching that movie very much. So that, and he's super busy. Like, I know he's not part of the What We Do in the Shadows production so much anymore. I mean, he might be, but you know, he's producing all these movies and TV shows and stuff like that, and Star Wars stuff still just kind of scares me with him. So I'm sure there's going to be, or seemingly there's going to be an announcement about that. I hope they give us something. You know, if they announce that, I hope they give us something to be a little bit excited about. To not just like, oh, Taika Waititi is making a comedy. You know what Star Wars does not need right now is a comedy. That's the last. It needs well placed comedy. Han Solo was the comedic character in some of the early movies, you know, stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I'm kind of scared about that. So, then what else was there? I guess there's Bad Batch as a show. That's all. I think that's all the Star Wars Celebration stuff I can remember. Oh, there's a lawsuit going on with the Acolyte. The original producer is suing Lucasfilm. I just read that earlier today. That's gonna be interesting to see what goes on with that. We'll probably pay attention to that as that goes on. And then the Bad Batch, Bad Batch. Man, I need something to make me give a shit about this show anymore. Look, I know not everybody has the same curse that I do, where you start some show, even if it's bad, and you like have to finish it. I'm getting better with that in my adult life, but the biggest curse that I've been through originally was the Arrowverse. I started watching Arrow season 1, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then it had its ebbs and flows over the course of its life. And I know the Arrowverse is about to end with season 8, I think, of The Flash here. But I stopped watching during the Crisis? It was whenever they killed off Oliver in the series. It was the end of Arrow. And I do like Stephen Amell as Oliver Queen. I thought he was pretty good. Story, not every season was great, but once he died, literally the curse was lifted. I didn't, because up until that point, I had to watch everything. I had to watch all of the Arrowverse stuff, Supergirl, which I did not care for. I did not care for Supergirl. I had to watch it all. And then Oliver died, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, this weight is lifted off my shoulders. I don't have to do this anymore. Star Wars is similar. I have a harder time not watching some of this, because Star Wars has always been a thing, man. And even animated stuff. There's really, the animated stuff in the last, Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff, they've given us a lot of great storylines. They've given us a reason to care. And Bad Batch, I just don't care. There is some cool things happening, I guess, but like, they got 16 episodes for this season, and there has been very little development. Spoilers for anybody who's not watching the show. We've had 2 team members leave now, and the dynamics don't seem to change when team members leave. I have gotten a little bit more from a couple of characters, but like the supposed leader of the group, Hunter, like, he's done nothing this season. And what episode are we on? 14, something like that. Yeah, Bad Batch is, God, this is a curse that needs to be lifted off my shoulders. I gotta stop. I don't know if they're gonna do a season 3. I think next week actually is the season finale, as well as The Last of Us. Let me check real quick. The Bad Batch. Come on. Why isn't... Jesus. Alright, there we go. episode or season 2. No, there's a couple more episodes. There's 16 episodes. This week was 12, so there's 4 more episodes. And I think the last 2 episodes will be aired at the same time. They'll drop on March 29th, so we're almost done with this. But oh god, I really don't care about these characters. There's been so little progression over the season, and oh my god, it is like once they got out of the away from the Empire in season 1, like episode 2 or whatever, and they start doing like just contract jobs for this character named Sid that's voiced by Rhea Perlman. Sid is the worst fucking character in any of these animated. No, I mean, look, there's no Jar Jar. And apparently I hear Maz Kanata is really fucking annoying in the Resistance animated series, which I never watched that. But Sid is just, it's like, you guys keep getting taken advantage on these like one-off missions by Sid, and then it keeps happening and you don't do anything about it. Like, what the fuck? What's going on here? And it's continued into this season. Like in the last like 2 episodes, they've been stuck somewhere, and it was because Sid didn't help them. And it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Let's ditch this lizard chick and like, she's Rodanian, like Bosk, the bounty hunter Bosk, but she's shorter. You know, it's real Perlman, so you know, she's kind of like an old lizard lady. I'm an old lizard lady. Oh man, Bad Batch is just so. I don't care. I really don't care, but I want it to be good. But this show is what this show is doing, and what Disney's doing over the course of comics, books, animated series, and it seems like even a little bit in live action stuff like Mando. They're really trying to make the line in Rise of Skywalker somehow Palpatine return. They're really trying to make that make sense, and they're using all of their mediums to do it. Now, I don't necessarily mind when companies do this. Like Marvel's done this, Star Wars has done this too, and they're doing it in other ways as well. But I'm really tired of the like, well, we messed up one thing, so we're going to make 15 other things to try to make that one thing make sense. And I'm like, I don't need that. I need you to just move on. Like, I will forget this if you give me something cool over here, not just trying to like explain all of this stuff. And Bad Batch is the series, to me, is the one series that feels the most like, yeah, this is supposed to be solving problems, but I'm just not getting anything from it. Which is unfortunate because I think the team behind it's great. You know, this is a Dave Filoni show. Everybody's like, Dave Filoni's God. Yeah, I love Dave Filoni too. I do think this is one of his weaker ones. He might have done Resistance too, the other animated is it Resistance or Alliance or whatever? I think it's Resistance. He might have done that too. But yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping that the last 4 episodes really pick up the pace a little bit for me here, because I really don't care. Really don't care anymore. And like I said, once this season ends, if there's not like a thing that happens that makes me any more interested, then I'm out season 3. I'm not going to watch it. Sorry. I say that now. I say that now. Hey, what? I'm just being honest here. Nah, get out of here. Anyways, it's been a minute since I mean, the last episode I did was last week with the New Pants 2 release party, which I hope you guys have had a chance to listen to it all. The streams are always great. They help we actually, when you listen to stuff on Spotify and all these other streaming services, we do get paid. It is nothing, but we do get paid per stream. It's like 0.000000003 of a cent or something like that. So, you know, make playlists and just listen to it on repeat all night long for 19 days in a row. You know, no big deal. I mean, New Pants 2 is short. It's 4 songs. So if you haven't had a chance, hopefully you can go listen to it. There is stuff here on the YouTube channel as well. There's the Ginkgo Momoa music video, which premiered here last week. And I forgot to check, but I think, you know, when you upload stuff, when you upload music to DistroKid, I think it also pushes it to YouTube. So there'll be like a screen with just the album cover, and then it'll, you know, play the songs. I think those are up there too. So yeah, I hope you guys get a chance to listen to it, because Pat and I were really, really happy with how New Pants came out. And, yeah, we're really proud of it. We don't have any plans of doing anything live anytime soon. Pat wants to work on his stuff, and I'm going to work on my stuff, for a little bit. But I'm going to be doing, this year I think there's going to be a lot of music. I keep forgetting to edit these. I have like 3 or 4 more of those live jams like I did a couple months ago, that are up on the channel. You can find, there's some live jams. Pat and I did 1 or 2, and then when Jay was here, Jay, my friend that was on a month or 2 ago, we recorded some other stuff. So I have some videos to edit there. There might be like 2 or 3 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I need to get to those. Those are stuff that I'm going to premiere hopefully, you know, this month maybe. So stay tuned. There's a lot of art coming out. Like I was talking about the store, there's new designs coming up this year, new music. I might start doing, I was thinking about this. I might start doing a little bit of like live jamming with just my guitar. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that, if it's mic it or, I don't know if I could do that actually. I might have to just mic it. I don't know if I can go direct in from my head, but miking might be a better choice anyways. But yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get going. It's past my bedtime. I'm 5. 105. And yeah, I'm going to go. I need to eat something. I need to call somebody too. But anyways, I will be back on Friday. Again, I don't know what the show's going to be about yet. We might have a call-in. I don't think Pat's going to be here, unless he decides he wants to show up a little later. That might be fun. But yeah, for now, I'm real hungry. So yeah, I'm going to get going. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week until Friday when, you know, we get to hang out again. Yeah. What else is there? So wilddinosaur.com. I've been talking about it all day. I'm trying not to talk your ear off about it. I'll just make new commercials for them. And then in the link in the description, I always have in the description, there's always a link to donate to Planned Parenthood, because I just think it's a really important cause. There's some insane stuff going on in the United States right now around healthcare and all this other stuff, and Planned Parenthood's one of those ones fighting the good fight. So I support them, and I hope you do too. If you're not familiar with them, or if you just hear, you know, rhetoric, at least just go like look at their website and read about like the stuff that they offer, because it is important and good. Anyways, have a good Wednesday night. Go watch that Mandalorian episode, and I'll see you on Friday. For Jon Does, I'm John. Bye.